guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. And first and foremost, I wanted to give a very big shout out and thank you to Cecil over at Good Bad Flicks. He runs a great YouTube channel where every few weeks to month he will pop in and do a Netflix instant watch recommendation video where he just briefly highlights some of his favorite films on Netflix. And I was looking for something similar on Amazon Prime, because recently I had canceled my Netflix account and have been using Amazon Prime more in the video portion, and I didn't really see too much out there, so I figured what the hell, I'd throw my hat into the ring. So thank you, Cecil, for the idea, and thank you for not minding that I'm pretty much pilfering it from you. So one of my favorite directors and writers is Terry Gilliam, and one of his, or actually I think it's his most recent film, is Zero Theorem. And I did a small review on this on my channel, so you may have seen me cover it before, but I'll just briefly speak about what it's about. It's about a recluse named Cohen Leth, and Cohen lives in an old monastery, and he's a computer programmer, and he works for this huge company, and there's a whole weird cast of characters. If you've watched any of Terry Gilliam's previous films, he always has a very big quirky side to him in terms of his characters. There is like dark humor to the movies usually, but it's sort of underneath all of the kind of quirkiness, or sometimes even with this film, sadness from the characters. But supposedly some of these characters represent different feelings and emotions in someone. People have said, I've looked online, that one guy represents sadness, one guy represents the ego, one guy represents love, this and that. So that's kind of an interesting take on the film, but the overall scope is he's a reclusive kind of guy, and he has all these cast of characters kind of pushing him in different directions, from work, or someone that work has hired him to work with now. He's now working from home, and he has this therapist that pops in and constantly harasses him, all while he's trying to get this new thing done, which is like this revolutionary, be-all, end-all kind of program that supposedly drives people crazy. And without giving too much away, he kind of is on the brink of completing this, but also on the brink of changing himself as a person. And primarily, without getting too deep into it, the movie's about whether or not he's going to take this step, or take these steps and make himself happier. This movie actually came at a very, very rough time in my life, and I watched it over and over, and it meant a lot to me, and it really changed how I felt at that point, and how I reacted to the situation I was in. So definitely check out Zero Theorem on Amazon Prime Video. It is a great, great film. If you're into Brazil, you're into quirky, dark comedies, slower, I think you'll really enjoy it. If you're in something fast-paced, or you don't like Terry Gilliam's previous work that he had written, then I would say give it a pass. But otherwise, I love it. One of my top, probably 3 favorite films, right up there with Brazil. Secondly, I wanted to talk about a movie called Ex Machina. And Ex Machina is something I had seen a cover of on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, on the shelf, etc., and had never really known what it was. I thought it was some kind of TV series. Well, when I looked more into it and had gotten recommendations online about it, I decided to give it a whirl, and it was really, really good. Another slow film, both of these films being in like the futuristic sci-fi, cyberpunk type genre, just to clarify. And this one is about a character whose name is escaping me currently, who wins a lottery at his job, I believe, or some kind of lottery with what he does for work. He's a coder, and so we have a programmer in the first film and a coder in the second, and he gets whisked away by helicopter to this remote island, which has this, again, another reclusive type of person who has constructed the world's first robot AI, and he wants this guy who he's recruited to stay with him for a week and try and test the AI, see if he can evoke emotion out of it, see if he can tell that it's a robot. Sort of like that whole Blade Runner scene with the Voight-Kampff test, but more personal, not so much like reading off of a cue card. Crazy stuff happens in the film. Again, it's more of a slower film. Definitely has a really good build-up. A lot of interesting aspects, and a couple twists too. There's a couple twists towards the middle and at the end, and I'd say you probably will see them coming, but they still do not detract from the film. It really has some interesting ideas, and it flew under a lot of people's radar, and I think they should definitely check it out. And the girl who plays the robot, uh, is it Eve or Ava? She, which is a play on Eve from the Bible. She was very good and believable. You know, being sort of like part machine, but still having some sort of or semblance of, you know, human to her in a way. So these are my two recommendations for May 25th, 2016 on Amazon Prime Video. Check these out, and I will see you guys again soon. Be good.